Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Rampage for October the 15th, 2021. Now, man, with this show, man, overall, man, it was decent at best. The buy-in was really good. I love the Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson match. If I had to choose, man, like a match of the night, that's the match of the night. You know, that match could have easily main evented the show. Really great match, man, between those two. And yeah, man, and this also with this episode of Rampage, it was going head to head with SmackDown, the Supersized SmackDown that they promoted this week or last week. And it started at that 9 o'clock hour. That 9 o'clock hour, yeah, the buy-in started and SmackDown was still on. So I was watching it. I was watching the buy-in and I was watching SmackDown at the same time. But yeah, man, so you know, everything else, man, everything else was fine. But this match right here, man, the Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson match was the best match on the show. The best match on the show. You know, man. But yeah, man. And that was pretty much it. We had the trios tag team match with the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos. You know, was not a fan of the feud, but it was still a good match. But yeah, hopefully that feud is over because I'm getting sick and tired of these guys. You know, the American top people, the America's top, getting sick of them. I just want the Men of the Year and Dan Lambert. Just keep those three. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it with Dynamite, man. That was not Dynamite. That was pretty much it with Rampage, dude. Pretty much it with Rampage. And so yeah, man. So yeah, and I say this in my intro all the time, man. If you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button, and then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I am here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, of course, and Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, so I'm here. So yeah, man, so we were live tonight for AEW Rampage in Miami, Florida. And so yeah, so we started off the show with the buy-in. So I did watch the buy-in. And so we started off the buy-in with a women's match. So it was Conti with Anna Jay in her corner versus Santana Garrett. So yeah, man, there was nothing much to this match. We had arm drags to Conti, pump kick to Garrett, a series of pump kicks to Garrett, and to end the match, man, we had a DD tie to Garrett to win the match. So therefore, Conti wins the match. And man, that was pretty much it with the match. Nothing much to the match. But yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had another match. It was Lee Moriarty versus Bobby Fish, the infamous Bobby Fish. And so yeah, man. So this was a good back and forth match. So yeah, man. So Fish he kicked Lee over and over and over again. And so we had a dragon screw to Lee, and at that point the crowd was split. So yeah, half of the crowd cheering for Bobby Fish, and the other crowd, half of the crowd was cheering for Lee. And so we had a springboard senton to Lee, and he kicks out. And so Lee he went right after Bobby Fish's injured elbow, his bad elbow. So that was smart, because Bobby Fish he actually injured his elbow. He had surgery on his elbow in that War Games match in NXT. So yeah, thought that was a really smart move by Lee by going after the injured arm. And so yeah, man, so we had a stomp to Fish, and so once again the crowd is split. And so we had a roundhouse kick to Lee, and so we had a Saito suplex to Lee, and he kicks out. And we had an arm trap side slam to Bobby Fish, and so yeah, man, we had a jumping knee to Lee, and then we had an exploder suplex to Lee onto the ropes. So he knocked him right on the ropes with that exploder suplex. And so to end the match, man, we had a roundhouse kick to Lee to win the match. So therefore, Bobby Fish wins the match, and that was pretty much it, man. So this is Bobby Fish's first win in AEW, and on Saturday tomorrow he will be going up against Bryan Danielson. So that should be really good, man. I cannot wait for that match. So yeah, man. So speaking of Bryan Danielson, man, our final match of the buy-in or the main event for the buy-in was Minoru Suzuki versus Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And so yeah, man. So yeah, with Bryan Danielson theme music, man. At first, I wasn't a fan of the theme music. Like I wasn't a fan of the theme music, but now I'm starting to warm up to it. I'm starting to warm up to the theme music. It has a nice beat to it with the crowd chanting yes along to the beat. So I, starting to warm up to it. But yeah, man. So yeah, so first off, man, yeah, both of these guys they try to one up each other. They try to out wrestle each other. And so yeah, man. So the crowd started chanting, "This is wrestling. This is wrestling." And so we had a C chant. So the crowd started chanting C. So that's yes in Spanish. So they started chanting C. And so yeah, so both of these guys they were trading strikes. And so we had a forearm to Bryan that knocked him out. Knocked him out. And so yeah, we had kicks to Suzuki. And then Suzuki he went right after Bryan's arm. And so crowd is split. Half the crowd cheering for Suzuki and the other half cheering for Bryan. And so yeah, man, we had a diving knee to Suzuki off of the ring apron. And so Bryan he started kicking Suzuki over and over and over again. And so Suzuki asked for more. He asked for more kicks. And so he kicked him again. And so yeah, man, so Bryan he started stomping Suzuki. And so he had a cattle mutilation to Suzuki. And we had kicks and chops to Suzuki in the corner. And so man, we had a PK kick to Bryan. And so that PK kick had fired up Bryan. And so we had European uppercuts to Suzuki. And so, yeah, Suzuki he had locked in the armbar to Bryan. And then Bryan put his foot on the rope to break up the hold. And so Suzuki, at one point, he had moved the referee out of the way. And so Bryan, he had locked in the label lock to Suzuki. And so the crowd started chanting, "Fight forever, fight forever." They can't fight forever because they got a time limit. But yeah, man, so both of these guys, they're going back and forth with strikes. And so yeah, man, and then Suzuki, like once of these guys were trading strikes, Suzuki had put his hands behind his back, daring Bryan to knock him out. And so Bryan he kept hitting strikes on Suzuki. And so yeah, so like these guys kept going back and forth with strikes the entire time, man, like over and over and over and over and over again. Like they couldn't stop. They wouldn't stop. And so yeah, man, so they started slapping each other. They started giving each other forearms and all that stuff. And so yeah, man. So to end the match, man, we had a running knee to Suzuki to win the match. So therefore, Bryan Danielson wins the match, and that was pretty much it, man. So Bryan Danielson wins the match, and yeah, man, great match, bro. Great match. And as I said earlier, the match of the night for me. This could have easily main evented tonight's show. Could have easily main evented the show. And a first time ever that these guys stepped in the ring together. So yeah, man. Really, really, really great match, man. And these guys, they beat the hell out of each other, man. They really did, man. But yeah, I think we will get a rematch. We will get a rematch one day. One day, it might be for a championship one day. But yeah, I definitely see these guys in the ring again. And so yeah, man. So that was it with the buy-in. And so yeah, man. So right after that, we had the main show. So we started off the main show with Matt Sydal versus CM Punk. So yeah, so in this match, no commercial breaks. And so yeah, man, so we had Sydal, he started using his speed against Punk. And so Sydal, he had locked in a bow and arrow stretch to Punk. And so yeah, man, so Punk, he body slammed Sydal and the crowd started chanting, slam him one more time in Spanish. So yeah, they were chanting something, so I didn't know what they were saying. And so the commentary team had pointed out saying that they said that slam him one more time, like one more time. They said one more time in Spanish. And so yeah, man, so Sydal, he started kicking Punk. And so Punk, the entire match, man, his cardio was off, man. He looked like in this match, it looked like Punk was out of it. He was out of it, bro. And so yeah, man, so Punk hit a leg lariat to Sydal. And so Sydal, he had a leg lariat of his own to Punk. And so we had a running corner Meteora to Punk. And so yeah, Punk, he had slammed Sydal on the ring apron, so that had to hurt, man. Looked like it caught him on the edge of the ring apron. And so yeah, man, so we had a springboard senton to Sydal, and he kicks out. And so the crowd started chanting GTS, GTS, because they want the match. They want Punk to end the match. And so yeah, man, so yeah, both of these guys, they were fighting at the top rope, and they knocked each other off of the top rope outside of the ring. So they went falling outside the ring. And so yeah, so the referee was counting to 10. And so both of these guys, they made it back in the ring at 9. And so yeah, man, so both of these guys going back and forth with strikes. We had a jumping knee to Punk, and he kicks out. So that was a close one, man. That was a close one. There were parts in this match that Sydal almost had Punk, man. And so yeah, man, so we had a running corner knee followed up by a short arm clothesline. And so Sydal hit a top runner to Punk. And then Punk had like an anaconda vice to Sydal, but Sydal put his foot on the rope. And so we had a roundhouse kick to Punk. And then Sydal hit a lightning spiral to Punk, so one of his signature moves. And Punk, he barely kicked out. He barely kicked out, man. And so yeah, he had him in a deep cover. He had him in a deep cover. Deep covers usually get people, usually pin people, you know. And he had him in a deep cover, and Punk kicked out of the deep cover. And so yeah, man. So Sydal, he tried to go for the crucifix bomb like he did earlier, but Punk had caught him midway and hit a GTS on Sydal to win the match. So therefore, CM Punk wins the match, and therefore the streak lives. So Punk is 4-0. He's 4-0, and yeah, man, hard fought win for Punk. And yeah, man, he beat the commentary team. The commentary team said it earlier, man. He barely beat Sydal. He barely beat Sydal. There were points that Sydal almost beat Punk. He almost beat Punk, bro. And yeah, man, great back and forth. Great back and forth between these guys. They have history. They have fought each other before. They mentioned that earlier. They fought on the Indies. They fought in Ring of Honor, and of course they fought in WWE. They didn't mention the WWE part, but they did mention 2010. And both of these guys in 2010 were a part of WWE. So yeah, man. But yeah, Sydal, he took it to Punk. Took it to Punk. And yeah, as I said earlier, there were parts in this match that Punk looked like he was out of it. Looked like he was out of it. But he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad at all. It's just his cardio wasn't favoring him. But yeah, so that was pretty much it with that, man. So right after that, man, we had the Dark Order. We had the Dark Order there backstage. They spoke. So we had Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. They challenged SuperClick. They challenged SuperClick to a trios match. So that's the Young Bucks and Adam Cole to a trios match. So yeah, that should be really good, man. That should be really good. Well, I think they yeah, didn't they challenge them next week for next week's Dynamite or next week's Rampage? That's what I want to know. I don't know, but they challenged them to a match. And so yeah, so that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, we had another match. So it was the Bunny versus Ruby Soho. And so yeah, man, during this match, man, I did not care about this match. I really didn't. Like I was flipping back and forth with the between SmackDown and AEW, and when this match was on, the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns contract signing was on, so I had to watch the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar contract signing. I had to, man. But I did still watch the match. But yeah, man, we so Bunny, she ended up taking control in the match. Went right after Ruby Soho's neck, and so yeah, man, and then so the Bunny hit a German suplex off of the second rope to Ruby Soho. And so yeah, man, and then Ruby Soho ended up fighting back, and she hit a backslide. So she caught the Bunny with a backslide to win the match. So Ruby Soho wins the match. And so right after the match, we had Penelope Ford. She attacked Ruby Soho from behind. And so the Bunny and Ford, they ganged up on Ruby Soho. And Ford had knocked out Ruby Soho with the brass knuckles. So she had brass knuckles and she knocked out Ruby Soho. And so that was pretty much it with that. Pretty much it. And so yeah, man. So yeah, as I said earlier, I didn't pay attention to this match. I was watching the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar contract signing on SmackDown. So yeah. So yeah, man. So right after that, man, before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show, next week's Dynamite and next week's Rampage. So yeah, man. So next week we have all right, so tomorrow's Dynamite. Tomorrow's Dynamite and next week's Rampage. So tomorrow on Dynamite, because Dynamite is gonna be on a Saturday this week because of the preemptions. And so yeah, so tomorrow AEW Dynamite is gonna be Dante Martin versus Malachi Black. And also tomorrow we have a AAA Tag Team Championship match. So it's the Lucha Bros, who are the AEW Tag Team Champions, and the AAA Tag Team Champions. That's Ray Phoenix and Pentagon, and versus some mystery opponents that Andrade El Idolo picked out for him. And these guys are close to Andrade El Idolo. Now I don't know who these guys are that Andrade picked, but I might go out on a limb. I don't know if they're personal friends of Andrade, but what if it's the Authors of Pain? What if it's Razor and Akam, the Authors of Pain? That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. You know, I know they don't wear a mask. They don't wear a mask to the ring, but when they came out to the ring during their entrance, they wore a mask, but a mask that was like Andrade El Idolo's, the mask that he wore when he came out to the ring, during AEW. They had the same mask. They had the same mask as Andrade. But yeah, man, I think when they were in NXT, they carried a mask like that. But yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the Authors of Pain. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but if I had to guess, it's probably the Authors of Pain. And also, man, we had the World Title Eliminator match. So the AEW World Title Eliminator match tournament, the bracket will be announced tomorrow. And also, man, we have Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta with Orange Cassidy in his corner, and that's tomorrow night. And also tomorrow night on Dynamite, we have Kiera Hogan versus Penelope Ford. And also we have Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. And also we have the TBS Women's Championship Tournament bracket announced tomorrow. So we not only do we have the AEW tournament bracket announced tomorrow, but we have the TBS Women's Championship Tournament brackets announced tomorrow too. I mean, not tomorrow, on Friday. And the AEW is going to be announced tomorrow. So yeah, TBS Women's Championship Tournament bracket announced on Friday, next Friday. And also we have next week. So next week the tournament begins for the AEW World Title Eliminator match. And also next week's Rampage, we have the Bastard Pack. The Bastard Pack versus Andrade El Idolo. So this is a rematch. So Pack versus Andrade El Idolo 2. So yeah, man. So that's everything for tomorrow for Dynamite and for next week for Rampage. So yeah, man. So that was it. So right after that, man, we have Mark Henry, World's Strongest Man. Mark Henry, he interviews the Men of the Year. That's Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky with Junior Dos Santos and Dan Lambert. And he also interviewed the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Le Champion Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, the TNT Champion, and Jake Hager. Split screen. So yeah, man, let's listen to what they have to say.
Thanks, guys. Dan Lambert, there's been a lot of talk. Junior Dos Santos' first match in AEW. Your words.
Talk is what the Inner Circle jerks do best. And yeah, it's JDS's first match, but this guy's been bashing brains in for years, and he's not coming alone. Men of the Year, Jorge Masvidal, and you're in ATT country. Look over your shoulder.
Well, Chris, your reactions to this?
You're right, it is a monumental night. Junior Dos Santos' pro wrestling debut here in AEW. I remember my first match. I was nervous and scared, didn't know what I was doing, but everyone was so happy for me. My family was so happy. So, Junior, your grandmother can bake you a cake in celebration, but the reunited Inner Circle are going to kick your ass. Men of the Year, Dan Lambert, you fat-faced dipshit, and Jorge Masvidal will be looking for you too, because there is nobody crazier in AEW than Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle. We'll see you tonight, bitches.
So yeah, man, that was pretty much it with that. So yeah, as they mentioned earlier, it was in the minute year, Miami, Florida. That's the home of the America's Top team or the America's Top, whatever the hell they call themselves. But yeah, man, that's their hometown. So yeah, man. So the main event, man, it was the trios tag team match. So a trios tag team match. It was the Inner Circle: Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, TNT champion Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager versus Junior Dos Santos and the Men of the Year. So that's Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky with Dan Lambert and Jorge Masvidal in their corner. So yeah, man. So Inner Circle came out first, and the crowd was singing along to Jericho's theme music. And so yeah, man. So when Men of the Year and Dan Lambert came out, Dan Lambert he grabbed the microphone. He was upset that the Miami crowd, their hometown, sung along to Jericho's theme music and not them. And America's Top team is the hometown people. And so yeah, man. So they were really upset about that. And so yeah, man. So we started off the match. We had Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky. They were going back and forth. So they had, you know, nice stuff between those two, man. Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky. And then Jericho and Dos Santos was going at it. And, Dos Santos took out Jericho. And then Hager, he tagged in, and he and Santos, Hager and Santos were going back and forth using their UFC style against each other. And so Jericho, at one point he shoved Jorge outside the ring. He went outside to Jorge's face, and he pushed Jorge outside the ring because of that attack that he did. That knee strike that took out Jericho. So Jericho got his revenge. And so yeah, man. So Page took out Jericho, and the heels took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so Jericho ended up fighting back, and we had a hot tag to Sammy Guevara, and Sammy Guevara was the best. Sammy Guevara was the star of the match, man, the MVP of this match. So Sammy Guevara, man, he had a double springboard cutter, man, a double springboard cutter to Scorpio Sky, and yeah, man, jumped off on one rope onto the another rope, and then caught Scorpio Sky with a cutter, man. Really nice, man, beautiful. And so Sammy, he had a standing Spanish fly to Page, to Ethan Page. And so we had a lion salt to Sky from Jericho. Every time Jericho hit that lion salt, man, I fear for him, man. I fear for him. Sometimes, man, Jericho hit the lion salt. I be man, I'd be like, man, I hope this guy does not land on his neck, because he was this close. He was this close from landing on his neck with that lion salt. And so yeah, man. So yeah, so everybody was fighting outside the ring, and then Santos and Hager, they were fighting outside the ring. Hager had hit a Uranage to Santos through the table, and so yeah, and then Sky and Jericho, they were going back and forth. They were, reversing each other's finishing moves and all that stuff. And so Jericho, he had locked in the walls to Jericho to Sky, and so we had another member of the America's Top team that was in the crowd. It was a lady, and she got on a ring apron, and she distracted the referee. And so we had Jorge Masvidal. He came in and he gave Jericho that knee strike that he did the last time. And so yeah, behind the referee's back, so the referee didn't see it. And so Scorpio Sky, who is a legal person, pinned Chris Jericho. So that was pretty much it. So the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos win the match. And so yeah, man. So after the match, we had the America Top team. They took out Jericho in the Inner Circle. And so yeah, we had another fighter that was a part of the America's Top team, was in the crowd. So he came in, he jumped the railing and attacked Jericho too. And so yeah, man. So yeah, they beat up these guys, and then we had Santana and Ortiz. They showed up at the last minute, and they took out Sky and Page. And so yeah, man. At first, I was wondering, like, where is Santana and Ortiz? And so they finally came out, and yeah, that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. I really did not care about this match. I really didn't. The match was good, but I really didn't care about it, man, because I'm not a fan of this feud. I'm getting sick and tired of America's Top team. The MMA fighters and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with the Men of the Year or Dan Lambert. I just have a problem with the rest of these guys. Like, dude, we see enough MMA fighters in wrestling. I don't want to see anymore, man. I really don't. But yeah, if you just stick to Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Dan Lambert, I'm fine with that, man. I'm fine with that. But when you add all these other people, man, to the group, like, dude, they don't mesh well together. Like they really don't, man. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this feud. I'm really not a fan of this feud. But yeah, man, and the finish too, man. In a beatdown, it's just the same stuff. Like every time they get into it, it's the same stuff. The America's Top Team always get the best of the inner circle, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, they need to end this feud, man. They really do. They really do, man. But the feud is not gonna end. It's not gonna end. Now that you have Santana and Ortiz got involved in it, the other members of the inner circle got involved in it. It's not gonna end. So it's gonna keep going. But yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that, and that was pretty much it with the show. And yeah, overall decent show. It was decent. I love the buy-in with Bryan Danielson and Minoru Suzuki. I thought that was the best match on the show, and could have easily main evented the show. But yeah, man. And that was pretty much it, man. Pretty much it with Dynamite, not Dynamite, Rampage. Dynamite is tomorrow, so I'll see you guys on tomorrow for AEW Dynamite. And so yeah, man. So yeah, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, if you're watching D Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button, and right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, of course, and Saturdays and Sundays of our WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So I'm there. And yeah, man, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about AEW Rampage. And share this video, man. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah, man, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. See you guys on Saturday for AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys then. And yeah, man, and once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe. And yeah, man, if you missed last week's review of AEW Rampage, the video is going to be right up here in this corner, and the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click this video, or you click down below in the link that's in the description if you want to check it out. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.